Hello, I'm Joel Blackford with Beth Hess at Sabbath Fellowship. We're virtual only, based out of St. Paul, Minnesota. The phone number works if you'd like to contact us. We do the thought behind the thought, the philosophy of eschatology, what you need to know, your reality, your existence as we go into strange times. We're studying Revelation a little piece at a time. We're mostly looking at the first seal of Revelation chapter 6 and chapter 13, the strange things going on there. So we're talking about witches, Stonehenge, crop circles, and I'm not an expert at this. So keep in mind, I'm learning with you, and I'm bringing in experts. I'm trying to work on setting up a show with an expert here pretty quick. But I want you to be aware of astronomy in the Bible. It's not astrology, okay? So when you see the moon on July 20th, which is today, will eclipse the Pleiades in a breathtaking cosmic ballet. Watch the stars disappear one by one in the celestial show. Steeped in myth and wonder, the Pleiades, known as the Seven Sisters, are a tight group of young blue hot stars about 445 light years away in the constellation Taurus. Okay, so here's the problem. You're saying, well, that's astrology. No, let's go to Job 38 and see what it says. Can you tie up the cords of Pleiades and loosen the belt of Orion? Can you lead out the constellations of the zodiac in their season or guide the Great Bear and its cups? This is all astronomy. God made the astronomy. He created the heavens and the earth. Do you know the laws of the sky? No, Christians don't. Sometimes the Jews do. You never know. Can you determine how they affect the earth? Job 38, 31 through 33. So keep in mind, these things matter. So we're doing the philosophy of the end of days. And we're talking about the Bible. We're talking about prophecy. We're talking about the fact that the witches are increasing. And you're not going to be able to defeat the witches with just your basic Christianity anymore. You're going to have to pick it up, people. Okay, it's called Spirit and Truth. That means the Bible, the truth side, the whole thing, and then the Spirit, God's Spirit. You have to have both to get through. And because the news is picking up, the cycles are just amazing right now. So this is in the fall. Every year, this is not astrology, this is astronomy, but every fall I watch Virgo recline. This is Revelation 12. And what I see is the sun here and the moon at our feet, and you see things change in the evening sky. And sometimes we have the blessing of Canadian fires, so we see the smoke too. So sometimes the sun is orangey. So anyway, the main thing is we see these signs, and even though you have people screaming at you that this occurred in 2017, it's been 8 years, people. That was not the sign. It's yet to come. So read Revelation 12 on your own, but the main thing is this is going to be interesting on October 1st of 2025, that range, 10 of Tishri, as we celebrate Yom Kippur and we look at the skies and we say, that sounds from basically Rosh Hashanah through Yom Kippur, you see these signs. You also see these weird eclipse signs, okay? 25, 24 rather, 25 and 26 with the blood moon eclipses the last 2 years. This came via Jared of Supernatural by Design. Thank you for that. It's based on Esther, the Haman story, the Purim story. These eclipses are just interesting. God set them up as patterns to be observed. The pagans notice this. They know what's going on. You might think, oh, we're so brilliant. No, the pagans know what's going on too. So they knew that the 2024 X fault lines, the solar signs were interesting. There's your Aleph. There's your Tav from 2017 to 2023. When you add in, I think it was the one from 2021, makes the Aleph, okay? I'm telling you that the Satanists, like Aleister Crowley, know what's going on. Alice Bailey predicted these things too. So they've been watching it for years. CERN restarted on April 8th on that eclipse, okay? The big eclipse. And so out of this door might come something, or he might send something through it, said Sergio Bartolucci, who's the director of research and scientific computing at CERN. Yeah, wickedness knows what's going on. Do you know what's going on? Do you see the 666 there in the CERN? Do you see the, rats, I'm blanking on the figurine down on the lower right-hand side, which is from India and from a mystic religion. Oh, goodness. I'll come up with a name eventually. Sorry. Okay, so the World Economic Forum, they know about eclipses. They know about these signs of the skies. They know something's going on, okay? You're watching it occur right here as that's their symbol. Okay, so now we'll go on to Stonehenge and Druids and pagans and witches and wizards. Okay, the stones match perfectly with the sun at both summer and winter solstices. On the summer solstice, the sun rises behind the heel stone in the northeast part of the horizon, and its first rays shine into the heart of the stone circle. Okay, so this is 4,000 years old. This is a picture from 2016. I'm telling you that the pagans know what's going on. They know that well, you can see the crop circle behind it. So basically, summer solstice brings druids, pagans, and tourists to Stonehenge. I'm telling you, based on the rabbis, and I don't have the quote in front of me from where it is, but basically, Shadim demons wear masks. This is an article from Al Jazeera. Interesting that they would be studying this, but yeah, druids, pagans, hippies, tourists, all costumed witches and wizards, and it's paganism rampant, but it matters. They're monitoring what's going on. So once again, these are pictures, and you can stop anytime you want to and take a peek. This is Stonehenge. You can see the light comes through from the sun for the solstices, and they monitor those things very closely. And we'll show you what they're talking about shortly here. So once again, you have the witches with their weird hair caps or whatever. You've got the ram's horn, so they blow the shofar like we would do in Messianic Judaism and Judaism, for that matter, sometimes Christianity. You've got just strange things. And then there's Stonehenge again. So seemingly curious alliance of druids, pagans, hippies, residents, tourists, costume witches, and wizards has gathered around the prehistoric stone circle on the plain in southern England to express their devotion to the sun. Yes, they're not devoted to God, they're worshiping, okay, to have some worship communal fun. No, they're worshiping, okay. This is from the BBC, and this is the Arch Druid of Stonehenge's Guide to Pagan Glastonbury. Okay, so best pagan site, Glastonbury Tour. Yeah, right. Don't go there. Don't take on those problems. And this is from the 24th of June, 2025. This is fairly current, people. We're in July, July 20th. So the number 2 place is the best place to learn about pagan culture, Courtyard Books. Don't read those books. Don't let that into your head. Okay. Number 3, best for buying pagan wares, Star Child. Don't go there. Don't bring cursed items into your household. Okay, you don't want them around you. Best for engaging in pagan revelry, Beltane. That's May 1st. That's a huge time when prayers are said to the god of the sun and the goddess of the earth, and a blessing is sent out to those in need in various troubled parts of the world, says whatever. The coming months of summer is celebrated in song and dance, a very ancient global tradition with its own unique Glastonbury flavor. What I'm getting at is the witches know it's the end of days too. They know. And so I'm showing you these weird crop circles because this is meaningful. I mean, I didn't know it. Look at the picture on the left-hand side. Do you see anything in there? That's the witch's circle, okay? The upside down pentagram in the circle there, it's a witch's circle. I didn't know that. I saw the pattern, the one that looked like a pattern that I've been studying. So if you want to watch the YouTube on this, you can. There's the link. But basically, Satanists see the sun moon patterns. They're observing these things. There's the witch's circle right there, and you can see, one of the demonic names, 2 of them actually, a male and a female, and you can see the pattern that's expressed there. Okay. On the right-hand side, I'll show you a better picture of this on the next slide, but you can see that I've already figured out that you have a blood moon eclipse going in, you have the Satanist meeting in the middle there, and then you have another blood moon at the end. It resembles what you're seeing on the left-hand side. It just does. And that middle point was the centennial conclave of the Luciferian hierarchy. And you can't read the slide as well on the right-hand side. I'll read that in the next one because I just wanted you to show them side by side. The Satanists are warning us about the odd blood moon lunar patterns for 2025 and the externalization of the hierarchy to release fallen angels from their prisons on June 11th. That's what they wanted to do. I don't know if they were released. Nobody informed me, but I'm telling you that it is getting more satanic. They're working it up into a frenzy, kind of like Eliyahu on Mount Carmel. They get worked up. Okay, so the next satanic event will be the eclipse of 7th and 8th of September of 2025. So this is Crop Circle Connector that you can go to and observe this. This you can read better. I'm telling you that every single full moon since the blood moon eclipse of March 13th and 14th has been huge. So you have the blood moon first. The second one, full moon, was Passover. That's huge. Okay. The third one was the full moon of May 12th when King Trump flew to Saudi Arabia, the Middle East, and negotiate peace deals. I mean, that was huge, people. Okay. Was Jordan going to hand control over the Temple Mount over? I don't know, but they've given up a couple of sites since then. They gave up the tomb of the patriarchs down in, oh goodness, now I'm going to blank on the name of that location. But anyway, I'll come up with that again. One more thing that I need to remember, just south of Jerusalem by about 30, 40 miles. So bottom line is, things are happening fast. Full moon of June 11th. That was when the Lucifer Trust Satanists got together to try to call the Nephilim and the fallen angels out into our realm. That's per Revelation 9 and maybe 9 two times, and then Revelation 12. So then the fifth one was the full moon of July 10th. Trump and Bibi, peace and safety, red heifer practice. I mean, this has been a busy not 6 months, we're only a few months into it, but basically this will be a busy 6 months. New moons, full moons, watch them all. The next one coming up, we're in Tammuz, is Av. Av will start around the 24th-ish of July. So soon. So once again, June 11th was the big satanic day. And there's the witch's circle again on the left-hand side with the witch's circle. And keep in mind, the nice farmers destroyed on the morning it appeared. They saw the witch's circle and they said, oh, we know what's going on. But I want you to see how it goes from moon cycles, it goes through other cycles, and they have the other symbols. And I'm sorry to show you this, but this is the truth. This is what's coming, because we're coming into the end of days and the witches are working into the frenzy. So once again, there's that symbol down below. There's the symbol up above. That was destroyed right away, but there is a picture of it, and it does look very similar to what I showed you in terms of the eclipse cycle and then the Satanists in the middle. Very similar. Okay? You're saying, well, this can't be satanic. That's satanic. You know it is. So this is the 10th of June, 2025. This is, I'll call it a mask, okay? But it is satanic. Crop circles from the air, Lord of the Air, Hasatan. I have a friend named Courtney Turner that has discovered the Alice Bailey types. We're meeting on June 11th, and so we had a show on that, but we'll have another one because they want to release their fallen angels. This is what they're beckoning to. And so taking an evil turn, Shadim wear masks. As I stated, demons wear masks. Narcissists do too. Politicians, like narcissists, wear masks. So now there's serpents too. And there's a few different variations on this, but there's also, if this is solar cycles or lunar cycles, you have these things occurring down below on the lower left-hand side. You can see that reminds me of our magnetosphere, coiling and recoiling as the shocks come in. I don't know if that's what it means, but what is the solar event in the midst of the snake? I don't know. Or is it a lunar? Could it be a partial solar eclipse on September 21st? That's due on Rosh Hashanah this year of 2025. So is it a serpent? Is it a dragon? Is it Revelation 12? It's a crop circle, no doubt about that. This was reported on June 23rd of 2025. Once again, you can see that magnetosphere kind of popping out from that. So is this solar, lunar? What's going on? What are they trying to tell us? Why do we have 7, then a break in the serpent, then we have 1, and then we have another 7 intensifying? Is that a warning to us? Is there something that they know that we don't know? It's been around for a while. This goes way back to 2017. So what I'd like you to be aware of is that they've done these 7 plus, now instead of the 1 in the middle, there's 2 other ones, and then the 7 again, and it goes in their cycle. I don't know what it means. I'll work on it. If you know, tell me. Please write it in the comments. So one more similar to that, it ends up being kind of like 7 again, and then the 1 in the middle, but it's very interesting. A huge, intricate crop circle sculpted in a sea of barley has appeared near an ancient British burial mound. So I wanted you to see that. This is near the burial mound. This is a sign for the dead, okay? And it's a Wiccan sign for the dead. So once again, the same symbol that you've seen before. You've seen, the mask, we'll call it. You've seen the witch's circle, and you've seen the serpent. These things, this is from 2017 to 2025. Very interesting to see that. And pause anytime you want to, once again. This is also interesting because you have the all-seeing eye, the Horus type eye, and then you have other symbolism going on. You have 10-year anniversaries and other things like that. So I don't know what that means, but I want you to read this with me. Welcome to the madness. Welcome to the madness. What does that mean? Are they warning us? And this is from 2025. So once again, welcome to the madness. The Horus all-seeing eye, very interesting little eye, and the eye pops up all over the place. You'll see many pictures of that. And then this spider. This spider's bizarre. So this is from July 10th of 2025, and the spider, yeah, it's rather pretty in its own way, but wait until you see the pattern up at the head. So it's actually a stitch type of a pattern. It's woven. I mean, I don't think that's possible for humans. Once again, the spider. This is July 10th of 2025, and you can see it's cross-stitched. I mean, it's absolutely it sounds alien to me. But the spider is somewhat biblical too. Okay, and then crop circles from there. So this is back to 2023 or years before. I want to see some of these pictures and see what they mean. I mean, obviously it's all Wiccan and witches and things like that. But what do you get out of this? What I'm noticing is that they're getting gradually more meaningful over time. Okay, this seems to be like it's a before and an after and things like that. It looks like it's atomic theory, okay? It looks like the symbol of an atom, okay? But it also can be based on the mask. And it also can be based on, time movements, and so time and space and things like that. So, but the mask works, okay? And then this looks like an Islamic symbol on the left-hand side, a couple of them with their minuets. No, that's a dance. You know what they have, their little style of architecture. And then once again, more spider type things, or more, not spider, but more serpent like things. So, and are those suns or moons? I don't know, but it's very similar to what you would see in the occult patterns. So is that Islamic? I don't know. Is it serpent? Is there a meaning? I don't know. Oh, let's go back. July 20th of 2012. So it's older, okay? And then current on the right-hand side. This is interesting too. Is it occultic? Probably is, okay? Occultic again? Yes. And this is from 2025. So this is fairly fresh. They're cutting down the crops right now, harvesting. And we're coming into the end times with the harvest. This reminds me of the Star of David, which is interesting. And the Eye of Horus again. So it's, the meanings are getting more meaningful, if that makes sense. So August 8th of 2024 and August 1st of 2023. Interesting. So we see the dates getting more meaningful from, say, 2012 forward. August 27th of 2022 on the left. August 1st of 2023 on the right. Maybe more meaningful, but interesting. And then, this reminds me of The World Ahead from The Economist from 2024. And they show you these different eclipses that are going to be occurring, and the bombs and the other things. This reminds me of what The Economist is telling us, forewarning us about war. And, Putin started his war back in, 2022, and Gaza, that started in October 7th of 2023. So there are more wars coming, and they'll get worse. I'm telling you that World War III is years away, but there may be other skirmishes in the meantime. Obviously Russia, Ukraine isn't over yet. The energies of the crop circles, the science and power really, of mysterious intelligence. So interesting. That's their book. So there are energies. There is energy in the witchcraft, and they like to conduct sacrifices to build up the energy. So divination, satanic, yeah, I would argue so. Um, More serpentine type things, more lunar or Sabbath, not Sabbath, lunar or solar symbols. That's from Getty. Some people are arguing that the aliens are making these. I don't know. But it is interesting. Is it alien tech or Satanists? I don't know. Somebody's creating them. Okay, July 18th of 2021. Does it have meaning? Kind of, yes. It's like time and space. It is. Time and space is continuous on this. Now, this reminds me of Kabbalah. And so for me, as a guy that reads Hebrew and kind of understands it, it means receive to me. But there are other Kabbalists out there. And this reminds me of Kabbalah also. But once again, time and space, August 22nd of 2023. Is that Kabbalah again? I don't know. Is that Kabbalah? Is it witchcraft? Now, I'm not arguing Orthodox Jews are into witchcraft with Kabbalah because they're just receiving the Torah. That's what it means, receive again. But on the other hand, you will find that Madonna and her types of people, and I'll show you the slide after this, where they have this symbolism everywhere. It's all Kabbalah. So is it? I don't know. Or is it just time and space? This is from August 30th of 2020. And then interesting symbolism. Here's your Kabbalah stuff. Now, this is the bad stuff. This is truly evil, okay? So, Kether of the crown, corona, Keter, Bina, which, these are basic Jewish words. And they're ripping off Orthodox Judaism. Chokmah, okay, Hokmah, Bina, Da'at, yeah, okay. So, Gevura, yep, Chesed, that's what my fellowship is called. Tiferet, Hod, Netzah, Yesod, foundation, Melkut. Okay, interesting. So the 10 tributes are emanations through God reveals himself and continuously creates a physical realm and universe in Kabbalistic Jewish mysticism. No, this is nothing really to do with Jewish. It has to do with a false religion set up by Madonna and other people like that and others years ago. But the main point is that you see the mysticism, the 666 in it, you see the Satanism in it, and they're trying to blame the Jews for this, but I'm friendly with so many Orthodox Jews. They don't believe in any of this crud. This is Madonna and her friends. So, and what was her name? Rita Ora. Okay, so yeah, those types of people. So, Ordo Templi Orientis, the occult, is intertwined with New Age, wellness, meditation. Stay away from that stuff, okay? But keep in mind, they're constantly trying to woo people in, but they're also trying to figure out what's going on with the end of days. So I had a witch pound on me yesterday on X because she knows that I know what's going on. And they want to know. They do. They're very curious. Well, because the end is coming for Satan, the false prophet, and the Antichrist, but also for witches. Okay? So, White Horse. Okay, the White Horse of Uffington. The White Horse of Uffington is a 3,000-year-old prehistoric hill figure in Oxford. It was formed by the digging of a deep curved trenches in the chalk hillside and then filling the trenches with white chalk rubble. I don't know if that has anything to do with Revelation 6:1 and 2, but it's interesting. You can see that most of the crop figures and things like that and some of these other things are just in the southern part of England. The White Horse, once again, Revelation 6:1 through 2. Is that the first horseman? I don't know. This one was made out of concrete. And then the crop circles nearby. Very interesting. And what do they mean? I don't know. I mean, that is so complex. That's like math code. So anyway, so on the right-hand side, once again, you see that same horse and you see an older crop circle. Interesting. I don't know what it means. Is it the first horseman? I don't know. There's your other first horseman. Interesting. I don't know what to make of it. You can pause anytime you want to and review. This is the one. This was made out of concrete, but it has been around since 878 AD. So Westerbury White Horse celebrates the victory over the Danes in Britain in the Battle of Ethandrium from 878. Think about that. Think about how old that is. Now we're going to get into what I observe, which is the prophecy side, for just a couple of slides. The world is more violent after the Temple Mount of 1967. So I found this article, and I'll be showing you this when I finally jump back into the first seal. But the first horseman, the first seal, from 1968 to radical Islam. I've lived with Muslim people. They've been wonderful to live with. They've been friends of mine for years. But then there's radical Islam, which is completely different, okay? And that means the burqas for the women and the men, they're violent. So, but there are many good Muslims. I've had friends with so many over the years and done so well with them. So this is from De Gruyter Brill, University of California Press. they're saying from 1968, 1979, I was there for that, the Iran crisis. I was an Iranian house manager in 1979. And so I've had to protect my friends. 1983, 2001. So, but there's communism and there's also Islamicism and there's witchcraft in there too. And so these are all things just designed to destroy Western civilization. And so I'm saying that as the Jews handed back the Temple Mount in 1967, it kicked off the hell that we're experiencing now. Okay, and it's not just radical Islam, it's communist too. So Jerusalem, all these wonderful men, that's Rabbi Shlomo Goren. Goren is the threshing floor. That's the word for threshing floor. It's so cool. Such a neat guy. He died at age 77 too. So I'm saying there's a link between Obama's radical Islam and Hillary's institutional educational communism. Never worked in the real world in Russia, China, Vietnam, any other place at all. It's only worked in college campuses and now, unfortunately, in our schools. And so Obama pushes this, Hillary pushes this. Hillary is a useful idiot, and actually they're both of Saul Alinsky. And so radical Islam is rising since 1967. Hillary Clinton and others like her with the communists, they're rising. Those seem to be the two horns. So what I'm arguing is we're coming into that time frame. I'll show you more on that later on. In the meantime, I want to say that we're coming up to the eclipses on, well, we've had the one on March 14th, the lunar eclipse, and then another one September 7th. But then we'll also have a partial solar eclipse on the 21st of September of this year. So it's going to be interesting. So you'll expect one more blood moon eclipse than the solar eclipse, and they have meaning. They have import to the witches and to the pagans and the druids and things like that. And then this is from 2024. So 2 years in a row on Rosh Hashanah, we have had a solar eclipse. The first one was a fire solar eclipse. So we're in the midst of these patterns. And then also on April 8th of 2024, we had that great American eclipse, which was interesting, that I showed you early on the slides. And so once again, in the Bible, solar events are recorded as having remarkable and sometimes supernatural significance. The control over the sun was demonstrated by God in the 3-day plague of darkness and is prophesied to be an essential part of the end times. The prophet Joel in Joel 2:31 predicted the sun will be turned into darkness and the moon to blood before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. So these signs are important, and even the witches know that. And I will make the sun set at noon, and I will darken the earth on a sunny day. So this is Adam Eliyahu Berkowitz writing this. Oh, this is going to be a year old. Yep, September 16th of 2024. But it's coming that you're going to see things. You'll see nations rise up against nations, kingdoms against kingdoms. You'll see earthquakes. The earthquakes are coming back, people. They're starting to pick up. Yeah, you'll see famines in places, pestilences, fearful sights. Yeah, Limo and Loimo. Yeah, this is accurate. And then Phobatra, which would be fearful sights. You're going to, not only witches with their frenzies, you're going to have frightened people in general. Also from heaven, signs great will there be. That's from, I assume that's Luke 21. So basically, the blood moon eclipses, we've seen a few already. Well, we've seen one for sure, 3/14 of 25. But then you'll have a couple more coming, and then you'll have a break until 2028, and then you'll have a bunch in 2032 and 2033. So they have meaning somehow. Once again, the one in March, then the one in September. There you can see where they'll affect and who will see it and things like that. Very interesting coming up. They have meaning. We just don't know what the meaning is yet. And you can see, that a total eclipse where the entire moon is shadowed is best of all. The face of the moon turns sunset red for up to an hour or more as the eclipse slowly unfolds. That's per NASA. So at some point in time, we will see the sun turn mohair black and the moon eclipse blood. It'll just occur. That's how the Bible sets it up, and that's Revelation 6:12 through 17. And it's interesting to note that so much physics goes into it. So it's so cool, where you've got the sun 400 times larger than the moon and passes by exactly in perfect locations. And then the blue lights get scattered and the red lights bend around the earth onto the moon. It's just so cool. So the physics. And then to end it up here, Ben Davidson, every day I pray I find one paper that can confidently debunk even one aspect of the Earth disaster cycle as I have drawn it out. Today is my worst nightmare. Someone found a way to look at the data that I live and breathe in a way I never imagined, and now there is no doubt that my daily efforts were always in vain. I've never admitted this, but I've always hoped I was wrong. I don't want us to go through this. Yeah, it's going to be worse than we think. Now I'll have to, yes, and everyone whom I insisted that I was not speeding up my timeline, I'm sorry. We have to speed up the timeline. It's happening faster. This is an interesting poem. Let your eyes to heaven be turning, darkened sun and falling stars. See the crimson heavens burning. Earth prepared for final wars. Hear the scoffer ask with jeering, where is the sign he is nigh? Yeshua is nigh. Turn your eyes with joy and fearing to the omens in the sky. L.D. Santee. So we are in the birth pangs. We are not in the tribulation. We are not in the great tribulation. You're going through, okay? And all of these signs are going to be more significant as we move forward. You'll see signs, eclipses, you'll see crop circles, you'll see, evil is coming, but also frightened people. And it's coming like a flood. You must have spirit and truth. You must be ready for what's coming. And I will discuss more of the two horns, which I think are radical Islam, and we'll call it institutionalized or educational communism. And so keep in mind the witches and the witchcraft, their time is short, just like Satan's. So, wedding coming up. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot of some year. What garments will you wear? You can't be naked. It's a wedding. So get ready for that. And that's spirit and truth. You have to prepare for this because it'll only get worse. So thank you very much for your time. God bless you. And we'll see you next week. God bless. Bye-bye.